While everyone was focused on Portugal, Dubai, the Caribbean, a region of 30 million people in the heart of Europe has been quietly transforming into one of the most interesting investment, residency, and lifestyle destinations in the world. I myself am from the Balkans. I've watched this happen from the inside, and I'm telling you, the early mover window is still open, but not for much longer. And if you're new here, I'm Theodora. I'm the founder of the Passport Investor, and I'm the first person from the Balkans to build a global investment migration advisory firm with a special focus on this region as well. I've lived this transformation personally. Today, I'm going to show you what the rest of the world is only beginning to discover. When people outside the region hear Balkans, they think 1990s, conflict, instability, poverty, and that mental image is approximately 25 years out of date. We saw Slovenia has been in the EU since 2004, Croatia joined in 2013, Montenegro, Serbia, Albania, North Macedonia, and even Bosnia and Herzegovina are all EU accession candidates at various stages. The region has had over 2 decades of continuous economic growth, infrastructure investment, and political stabilization. It's not perfect, no region is, but it is not the place that still lives in the Western imagination. For example, if we look at the tax rates, Western Europe versus the Balkans. Let me give you the numbers that make serious investors pay attention. In Montenegro, there is a 9% corporate tax, 9% personal income tax, matching Hungary for the lowest in Europe. Then in North Macedonia, 10% corporate and personal tax, and Serbia, 15% corporate tax, with highly competitive regimes for startups and technology companies. Then in Albania, there is a progressive but low tax structure with significant exemptions for IT and tourism. And Bulgaria, which borders the region, has a 10% tax, full EU membership and Schengen since 2025. And these numbers are not gimmicks. They are sovereign tax policies that have been stable for years. Here's what most investment migration advisors are not talking about yet. The Balkans is emerging as Europe's most interesting Web3 corridor. Albania hosted the Balkans Crypto Conference in Tirana in 2025, the largest blockchain and Web3 event in Southeast Europe, with the Albanian Prime Minister keynoting and thousands of international attendees. And today, Europe. I'm also telling you that this year in May, Balkans Crypto is in Budva in Montenegro, and I will be one of the speakers, so you are invited to join us, and I will leave a link to the tickets below. Hope to see you in Montenegro. Moving on to Albania. Albania is actively positioning itself as a forward-thinking jurisdiction for digital assets, with government-backed real estate tokenization initiatives underway. Montenegro has adopted its first crypto asset regulations, and Serbia has a large and skilled blockchain developer community. This is not hype, this is government strategy backed by real action. When we look at real estate, property prices in the Balkans are still below Western European prices, but they are moving up. It also depends on the area and the type of property that you are looking for. Don't get me wrong, not everything is cheap, and some properties are extremely expensive. If it's, let's say, within waterfront, of course, you will pay for the marketing and the prestige of being in this high-end luxury neighborhood. But if you look at some other areas, for example, let's say within Belgrade or outside of capitals, you can find properties with very attractive pricing. Then Montenegro's Bay of Kotor is one of the most beautiful coastlines in Europe, and prices there have roughly tripled in the last decade, but are still a fraction of the Côte d'Azur or the Croatian coasts. A little note, expectations are for the prices in Montenegro to increase in value when Montenegro joins the European Union. Not everything is cheap. There are some parts of Montenegro which are luxurious and have a luxurious price tag, but you can find something attractive. And then there is Tirana in Albania, which is seen as some of the fastest property price appreciation in Europe. Belgrade, Serbia, has a thriving culture and startup scene with real estate prices, well, some are high, but some are still attractive. It depends where you're looking for. But if you look outside of luxurious neighborhoods, there are some properties which really have envious and attractive pricing. And if you look at the more luxurious places, of course, the property prices are quite higher. So it depends on what you are looking for. And the EU accession trajectory is the key driver. When Montenegro or Serbia join the EU, and they are expected to join, it's a matter of when, not if, property values or currency stability and banking access all step change upward. The investors who are there before that happens capture the largest returns, and I want to be direct about why I am perhaps the most qualified person to talk about this. I grew up in this region at a time when most of my peers couldn't have imagined that one day I would be advising millionaires on how to structure their lives here. I left, I built a global perspective, I lived the international lifestyle, and now I help clients build one too. And then I brought that knowledge back to the region that shaped me. When I tell you the Balkans has an extraordinary decade ahead of it, I'm not saying it as a marketing pitch. I'm saying it as someone who has skin in this game, roots in this soul, and 20 years of watching this region transform. The Balkans is the chapter in the global investment story that hasn't been widely written yet. So if you want to know specifically how Montenegro, Serbia, or Albania, or another country in this region might fit your flag structure as a residency, a business base, or a real estate investment, or a crypto jurisdiction, visit the Passport Investor. We are the team with the deepest expertise in this specific region, and we want to help you get here before everyone else does. And make sure to subscribe, because bring the angles that the mainstream investment migration world isn't covering yet in each of our videos. And I'll see you in the next one.